Good day, everyone. We are the Group 1 and we are assigned to report on the case about quality management. And this case analysis is entitled The Culture of Quality at Arnold Palmer Hospital. So, basically, the Arnold Palmer Hospital, it is a unique hospital because it provides family health care specializing in women and children. Right from its beginning, the Arnold Palmer Hospital has experienced growth in a robust way. So, this hospital is based in Orlando, but it serves clients from all the 50 states in the US. And it originally had a capacity for 6,500 births per year. So with no time, it approached and passed to the 10,000 birth mark. So it is named after its original donor or patron, a famous golfer way back, Arnold Palmer, who insisted, who really insisted that it must be a top quality hospital. So today, Arnold Palmer Hospital is one of the largest and one of the most respected hospitals where every year it sees tens of thousands of babies born in its facilities and treats women and children. So, before proceeding, allow us to uh, watch this video for you to grasp more on what is happening in the well-known Arnold Palmer Hospital.
Continuous improvement is critical to organizations. Productivity improvement is an ongoing process. Whether the strategy is process-focused, as found in low-volume, high-variety job shops, or product-focused, as used by high-volume, low-variety organizations, understanding and analyzing actual processes can lead to significant efficiency gains. As part of operations management's ongoing effort to improve organizational processes, a number of graphical techniques and tools, referred to as flowcharts, have been developed to aid process analysis. These graphics help managers make sense of each process and ultimately provide insight about how the process can be improved. Among these tools are traditional flowcharts, which show a process with annotated boxes and interconnected lines, value stream mapping, similar to traditional flowcharts but adds customers and suppliers, time function mapping, a flow diagram with time added on the horizontal axis, process charts, which use symbols to map the flow of people or materials, and service blueprinting, which focuses on the customer and interaction with the customer. Service organizations also require process strategies. In this video, we'll see how Arnold Palmer Hospital in Orlando, Florida performs process analysis as part of its emphasis on continuous process improvement by looking at a key process, labor and delivery. One of the tools the hospital uses to analyze its processes is the process flow chart, like the one shown here. Hundreds of processes are charted by hospital staff to help improve such activities as vacated room turnaround time, admissions, inventory, and delivery of food service. Lately, the hospital has been examining the flow of maternity patients and their paperwork from the moment they enter the hospital until they are discharged, hopefully with their healthy baby, a day or two later. The flow of maternity patients follows these steps. First, the mother-to-be enters Arnold Palmer Hospital's labor and delivery check-in desk entrance, like Tasha here. If the baby has been born en route or birth is imminent, as in the case with Sheena, the mother and baby are immediately taken by elevator to a special floor and registered and admitted at bedside. The paperwork from registration and admitting is entered into the hospital's computer system so that processes and materials used can be charged to the account as they are incurred. Barcodes and wristbands are created so that mother, baby, and items used can be correctly tracked throughout the inpatient stay. If the baby is not yet born, as with Shannon, the front desk checks to see if she is pre-registered. Most are registered by the 28 to 30 week pregnancy point, but if she's not, she is taken to the registration office on the first floor. If she is already registered prior to arrival, she goes directly to the labor and delivery triage department on the 8th floor for assessment. If she is ready to deliver, she moves to a special labor and delivery room on the 2nd floor until the baby is born. If she is not ready, for example, she experienced false labor pains or there are no contractions, she'll be sent home to return on a later date. If her contractions aren't quite close enough, as with Celeste, she will be asked to walk around the hospital grounds to encourage progress and then will return to labor and delivery triage at a prescribed time. At the nursing station here, the staff is able to access the patient's records which have followed her to this floor. If there are complications with the mother, as with Carla, she goes to an operating room or intensive care unit. From there, she goes back to a mother-baby care room upon stabilization. Complications for the baby may result in a stay in the neonatal intensive care unit before transfer to the baby nursery near the mother's room. The computerized paperwork is updated by the staff working in this area as needed. When mother and baby are ready to be discharged, they are taken by wheelchair to the exit for pickup to travel home. The computerized documents comprising the patient's record of stay are transferred to the billing department for completion and submission to the appropriate parties for payment. As you can see, the Arnold Palmer Hospital has paid close attention to the design of its processes to improve its service productivity.
I think it's important in any organization to have a global focus and a common bond, common goals and objectives for continual process improvement. You can't possibly focus on everything, and you have to determine what the priorities for your specific organization are and continually try to improve in whatever those particular areas are. I think that is ultimately going to be the success in any organization.
The tools of process analysis and design that we describe in this chapter are critical to every organization. Flowcharts by the dozens are produced at Arnold Palmer Hospital to study and improve every aspect of how the hospital runs. The process tools help a manager understand what's going on and how to improve it. Various versions of process tools, including time function mapping, process charts, and service blueprints, have been around a long time and are described in this chapter of your text.
Thank you for watching the video, guys, or the short clip about the Arnold Palmer Hospital. So, the case is about quality management, and since the Arnold Palmer Hospital is a well-known hospital in the US, they really make sure that they have the toughest, so sa pinakataas gyud na quality management to in order to what you call this, in order to boost more their healthcare facilities, or and also their profit, so they invest in quality. So now we will be answering a series of guide questions based on this case that will help us more in the quality management aspect. So here are the questions. So here are the discussion questions for the said case analysis. So number one, why is it important for Arnold Palmer Hospital to get a patient's assessment of healthcare quality? Does the patient have the expertise to judge the healthcare she receives? Second, how would you build a culture of quality in an organization such as the Arnold Palmer Hospital? Third, what techniques does the Arnold Palmer Hospital practice in its drive for quality and continuous improvement? And the last question would be develop a fishbone diagram illustrating the quality variables for a patient who just gave birth at the Arnold Palmer Hospital or any other hospitals. So, to discuss to you the answers to these questions, allow me to introduce to you my beautiful teammates, Miss Marielle and Miss Anna.
So our first problem for our case scenario is that why is it vital for Arnold Palmer Hospital for getting assessment in healthcare quality of patients? And is the patient expert for judging a healthcare receiver? So operational management for supply chain and sustainability management for fundamental is a fundamental part in having a business organization. In the present case scenario we have the culture quality of management in Arnold Palmer Hospital is focused. So the hospital authority is determined to maintain a quality care system through comprehensive as well as systematic means of caring customers regarding to the care that they received. Several programs like tracking performance of the employees, daily survey questionnaire as followed by the hospital for continuous enhancement. So along with this, morbidity, rate of infection, and readmission, length of stay cost per case are measured by SWASN in the hospital.
Hello, guys. I am back again to discuss to you our answers to the question number two, which is how to develop the culture of quality in Arnold Palmer Hospital. So, quality care is being the top most priority of Arnold Palmer Hospital because it focuses on customers' satisfaction. It focuses on patients' needs. So the hospital arranges some programs, as you could see in the video, like daily questionnaires to understand the needs of the patients. And they also provide $200 to those unsatisfied patients or to those patients who tend to complain on the quality of service they have offered. So, according to the accurate information of feedbacks, the staffs of the hospital provide care to the patients. The hospital covers neonatal as well as the PICU or the pediatric intensive care unit, cardiology, along with pediatric oncology. So basically, the hospital focuses on the pedia and giving birth since it is a women and children hospital. So in terms of focusing on the customer's value for getting utmost care, they required to concentrate on the customer's surveys as well as several internal measures like uh, the tracking of performance of the staff. So as to the tracking of performance of the staff, it is just like in our office, the IPCR or the individual performance commitment rating. It is important to track uh, the performance of your employees to see if they adhere to the quality of customer quality. Uh, yeah, that's all.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Abrilio, and the case question I'll be answering is, what techniques does Arnold Palmer Hospital practice for their drive for quality and continuous improvement? Arnold Palmer uses a lot of techniques, which are the following. Surveys. So the patients are given surveys after they are discharged, and they are even highly encouraged to find something to complain about. The hospital's executive director follows these questionnaires and complaints daily and address them in a timely manner. 2 is benchmarking. Arnold Palmer participates in a national benchmarking comparison against other hospitals, and they consistently score in the top 10% in overall patient satisfaction. This benchmarking is done both nationally and in the southeast region of the United States. 3 is internal measures or employee empowerment. So the staff are empowered to see a problem and develop ways to track performance. They are given the responsibility to keep the culture of quality at the grassroots level. And 4th are other tools like charts, Pareto charts, which are a graph that indicates the frequency of defects and their impact, so that the hospital will focus on prioritizing the defects that have the most impact, which makes their problem solving more efficient. And other charts are flow and process charts, which show the standard sequence or movements of actions to be done, which can save time and mistakes compared to doing things without a proper order. So those are the techniques that Arnold Palmer uses. For the 4th question of the case, it says to develop a fishbone diagram illustrating the quality variables for a patient who just gave birth at Arnold Palmer Hospital. So a fishbone diagram is also known as a cause and effect diagram. So the fishbone diagram looks like this. It's another way to assure quality and to make sure that the causes of a problem will be addressed. Now, the operations manager starts with 4 categories, and that's methods, material, machinery, and manpower. So in a fishbone diagram, the problem there, we try to figure out like what are the things that could go wrong in order to cause this problem. So for these categories, we'll try to see what specifics could be there. Okay, so for the category of methods, these are the possible, more specific issues that could go wrong. So there could be billing issues, discharge issues, like what if the baby and the mother are not discharged at the same time, misinformation of the procedure, and turnover is improper. So for the category under material, these are the possible problems. There could be a delay of medicines or delay of other materials like alcohol or bandages, or there could be wrong medicines. And for machinery, these could be the problems. There could be hospital server problems. The bed which the mother is sitting on might not be working and causing discomfort. The computer could be slow, which could cause more problems in billing or processing information and the like. For manpower, it could be that the doctor is not available. Maybe they're still doing rounds. The nurse is not available. So maybe there's too high a nurse to patient ratio, or the janitors are not available to clean up when needed. So this is our filled in diagram, fishbone diagram here. So see, it kind of looks like a fishbone.